Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and I'm Blue Monkey, and today I'm going to be doing a tier list for all the legends in Apex Legends, and this is my opinion, so if you don't agree with this, it's totally fine. This is just my opinion, who I think, what the legends are. So before we start, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video. That really helps to get the video to more people to like it, and please subscribe. We're trying to get to 30 subscribers. We're very close, only 3 more, and I've never tried this before, but let's try and get 5 likes on the video to see if we can hit that goal. Okay, so the first legend, Octane. I'm gonna say Octane is S tier because he is a mobility legend, which means like he can his stim does cost 20 health now, and his jump pad is 90 seconds. So, but I'd say he's still an S tier because his jump pad can push into fights. His whole team can move around the map, and he just has his stim, which is just good for himself, but so that's pretty good. Makes him go faster. So he's an S tier legend. He stays S tier. The nerfs that happen to him are probably needed because he was very powerful. So yeah. And the next one is Pathfinder. Pathfinder, he's a good legend with his grapple and his zipline. His zipline can get his whole team around places around the map, but it just takes so long compared to the jump pad, like much longer. And his grapple is very nice, but it does take like a very long time to do. So I'm gonna say he's B tier. Like he's a pretty good legend, but he's not gonna be always he might be my first pick, but he's not gonna be my first pick or second pick. Rampart, I'd say she is my least favorite legend on this list. I'd say she's either C tier or D, C minus or D. Let's just say D. D. I think she's actually no. I'd say she's C. Her abilities are very good. Her walls and amps bullets, which means I think they do more damage. And her passive is like the LMGs. They have a higher ammo capacity, which is nice, and faster reloads. But when in a fight, she's literally like, you can't really move that much, and like if Rampart is against an Octane, like a 1v1, she puts her walls down. Octane can stim all around the walls, which then makes her walls useless, and her ultimate, Sheila, her turret, is good, but like again, you can't move it. It's in one place. Someone can come from behind you. Yeah, and you can only move it like a little bit to the side. So it's good, but I'd say she's probably the worst legend in the game right now. She really needs a buff. And then that brings us to Watson. Watson is also, I like her character, but I don't like her abilities. Like, I like her abilities, but they're not good. Like her fences, they're good with like keeping a space, but it does 15 damage and slows you, which is good. But her ultimate, it's okay. It can help regenerate your shield and your tactical. Then her passive is probably the worst part about her, is that her passive is like regen shields, but it's like 0.25 shields per second, which is very little when you're actually playing, because 25 shields is 1 shield cell. So to get 1 shield is 4 seconds. One shield health is 1 second. So 4 seconds I mean. So they need to either buff her her passive to maybe like Octane 1 second. Octane regenerates his health. Maybe she should regenerate her health 1 second. But the next legend is Wraith. Wraith is, she used to be a great legend to play, and everybody still picks her. She's the sweaty Wraith out there. You probably played with them. But she's not as good as you might think. Like, she's an A tier legend, which she's good, but Octane is probably better. Actually no, I'd say she's an S tier legend, but maybe like an S minus. But it's because her passive, yes, is good. Getting out of situations, you get a speed increase, and no one can shoot you. You turn invisible, but they can see an outline of you. So a lot of times they follow you and they just shoot you. But that can help you, and you have a portal for your whole team to go through. And then her passive is voices. She hears if people are targeting her. If someone's aiming at them with a sniper across the map, it'll tell her, and it says someone's aiming at you. So that's pretty nice. So I'd say she's an S tier. Okay, Fuse. Fuse is the second worst legend in my opinion. Maybe actually the worst, because Rampart is actually a little bit better. Yeah, he's the worst legend in my opinion. His tactical does like 30 damage, I think, or in total. It's called the Knuckle Cluster. It can break doors, and that's kind of all it's good for most of the time, but yeah. So his passive is like he can pick up more grenades, like 2 arc stars only fills up 1 slot, so that's nice. But he also shoots them farther, which is also nice. So he also his ultimate is a ring of fire, which basically like traps people in a like circle, and then and if they run through it, they take slow damage and burn damage. But like I've ran through it like so many times, thinking like I would take a bunch of damage, but I only took like maybe 50 damage or whatever from it, like in total. So yeah, Revenant. A lot of people are playing Revenant now after his new heirloom, and he did get a couple buffs actually, and I would say him and Octane are a great combo, because you pop the death totem and throw the jump pad. You can get like to places much quicker, and you can start fights in the death totem, and when you come back, you can re-enter that fight really quickly off that jump pad, and that gives you a huge advantage because your enemies are gonna not expect you to come back so quickly. And his passive is he can crouch, and like while he's crouched, he goes a lot faster, and when he's climbing, he climbs short distances faster than any other legend, and he can climb super high, like the tallest building in World's Edge, he can climb to the top of it. Bunker in King's Canyon, he can climb to the top of that. So, yeah. And then his tactical is silence. For 15 seconds, he silences his enemies, which means that they can't use any of their abilities, like their passive, like Octane. He can't stim or use his jump pad for 15 seconds, and it does 10 damage, so not a lot of damage, but yeah. Valkyrie. Valkyrie is, actually I'd say she's a pretty good legend. She's definitely A or S tier. I'm gonna say she's S tier because of her ability to move like no other legend. Like, she can get to the high ground, or get away from fights, or go into fights with her jetpack. And then her tactical are these like little missiles. They stun people and do like 30 to like 35 damage if you hit all of the rockets on them. And so then she can fly out of situations or just move around in the air. Her ultimate lets you reposition around the map. It puts you into the sky again like you're in a balloon, and then you can move across the whole map pretty quickly with Valkyrie. So that just makes her a good mobility legend. And she's a recon legend, which means that she can scan the survey beacons, know where the ring is, pop her ultimate, then she can get in the ring and wait for people. Crypto is probably one of the hardest legends to learn and to play, because when playing Crypto, you have to know where you have to either communicate with your team, or if you're playing solo, you have to just know how to play Crypto, I guess. So like, he's A tier because his drone is good and his EMP is good to push off of fights. You EMP, then you push them with their shields are low. That can be good. But his drone is also helpful to get information. You can also pick up your teammates with his drone instantly, which is very nice, and you can respawn them instantly. So that's a huge advantage for him. Caustic, he's a B tier legend, I'd say, because his gas does 5 damage, and that gas does 5 damage with canister, and his ultimate it slows the enemies too. He can see through his gas. The enemies are highlighted. He does not take damage to enemy caustic gas, which is nice. But yeah, and he is a fortified legend, which means he takes 15% less damage, which is also good. And Gibraltar is definitely, I'd say, A tier legend, because his dome is good for healing and reviving teammates. You can revive teammates in your dome, and you're basically protected, but the enemies can walk through. So his ultimate is basically a bunch of rockets. They do 40 damage. It can hurt him, but not his teammates. So, and then he's a fortified legend, and when he's aiming down guns and sights, he has a gun shield which blocks 50 health. So yeah. Horizon, in my opinion, is like a B+, because like, her tactical is good for moving and getting into position or getting high ground, but it's very slow to go up it, and her ultimate, in my opinion, it is good, but it's a lot of times it doesn't really affects the fight, but a lot of times it's hard to actually get her ultimate to its full potential, because you might like throw it down and the enemies just run out of it quickly, and then it's kind of a waste. But you can definitely use it in good situations to win fights and all that. So she's pretty good legend. Also, when she hits the ground from high places, she automatically keeps running, like any other legend would hit the ground and have to slow down for a second. Lifeline is an S tier legend because she can revive her teammates instantly. Her healing drone heals very fast, but her ultimate is still, it doesn't really affect the game that much, in my opinion. Like, you can maybe do it sometimes, but in the late game, if you do it, it'll tell your position, so don't do it in the end game, and people might attack you, so she's pretty good. Loba is, she's a B tier legend because Loba, her ultimate is basically you get all the loot nearby, and then her tactical is she can teleport anywhere and she can see loot through the walls, which, I mean, it's pretty good, but not the best. Mirage, the bamboozler. Mirage is also, I'd say he's actually B tier again, because Mirage, his decoys can be very good, trick people, but he is hard to actually learn. His ultimate is very quick. I think it's the quickest one in the game. I'm not sure though. I'm pretty sure. And then his passive is when he revives or respawns his teammates, he turns invisible, so that is good. Bangalore is, she's like probably one of them, like she's a medium legend in every way, like she's just balanced. Her smoke basically is just smoke cloud that you can't see it through. Anybody can't see through without a digital threat where you can see through a smoke. And her passive is she runs faster when people are shooting at her or aiming at her. So that's very helpful in fights. And her ultimate are rockets that explode on the ground. So kind of like Gibraltar's ultimate, but takes a little longer. And it also does 40 damage. So Bloodhound is one of the best legends in the game. I'd say he actually is the best legend in the game, because of his scans are super helpful, and his passive is he can see the enemies and track them at after 4 seconds, and he scans his enemies, and his ultimate is basically he highlights his enemies and he can run faster. He goes faster, and yeah, he can see his enemies everywhere. So it's just also annoying to get scanned by a Bloodhound. He knows your position, he can push or he can wait. So he's good for getting information. That's why he's one of the best legends in the game. Okay, this is gonna be my tier list for all the legends in Apex Legends. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would please hope that you made it to the end. Please subscribe and hit that like button. Trying to get to 30, and I would really appreciate it. And I'm Blue Monkey, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.